Okay, everyone, happy Monday, or it's kind of a rainy Monday, but welcome into the News 10 Plus Digital Desk. I'm Taylor Gattoni with, should not say extra innings. That was earlier this morning, so if you haven't seen extra innings.
Go join, go tune in, see what's going on. Yeah.
But we've got Justin with us because we have a rainy start to the day.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling kind of like down with it, you know?
Yeah, I think it's just one of those, we're still trudging through some humidity, clouds hanging on, storms blowing through. Sometimes that's nice and relaxing, but usually when it's followed by the refreshing air, we haven't had that just yet. We got one more round of showers and storms later before that comes. And the forecast gets really nice, I'll say, starting on Wednesday, but tomorrow going to be a cooler day, more showers and storms in the forecast. It's possible late today we throw one down. A lot of folks, though, have seen the rain now move off to the east, so that's the good news. Very rainy start, but we're now getting back into a dry afternoon, and outside of a stray shower storm that might flare up late today, a lot of us will be dry until late tonight, but we're going to get plenty of rain when that system arrives.
Yes, and that is a first alert, not a first alert weather day, but a first alert.
Yeah, we just want to let folks know what's going on. So that first alert part of our branding, it's not exclusive to declaring a big day for anything going on, just to let you know about anything that's disruptive or impactful for you, especially tomorrow morning. It's going to be a bit of a wet drive. You're going to want to not only have the umbrella, but the rain gear, the boots, the jackets, all that stuff. You're going to want to have it tomorrow because it's one more day with rain. And it's noticeably cooler. We might have some folks stop in the 60s for high temperatures tomorrow, which we have not done since more than 2 months ago in early June. And so we going back to a bit of a cooler day. Now, it's not going to stay a chilly forecast or a cool forecast if you want to consider upper 60s chilly, but
if you're like me and you get cold easily.
This time of year, it feels that way, especially when we're used to the heat and humidity we've seen as of late. But we've got lots of clouds hanging around outside. That's just going to be the theme for most of us this afternoon.
And so going from this weekend with the heat and humidity, we're going to drop that humidity as we move on.
Yeah, that's going to be the big news, which we'll talk about too, because I'm excited about it. I'm ready for the humidity to go. I'm good with upper 70s, low 80s, and wouldn't you know it, that's our forecast starting on Wednesday. So we're going to get to that, let you know what to expect, but we did want to again show the live look outside from our Meridian Company Skycam network view. Everywhere is currently dry, but it is still cloudy out there. You don't see any more droplets on the camera, just a few lingering puddles on the roads. Outside of that, we're seeing things dry out this afternoon. You can see the satellite and radar image, showers and storms that blew through earlier. Here's the loop one more time. And those were severe warned in far southwest Michigan before coming ashore. However, ever since that happened, they've been weakening, and you can see that they're now off even out of the state of Michigan to our east. And so nobody currently dealing with any rain, at least not in our view here on satellite and radar. You can see with the clouds gone, we had a little bit of that lightning. Again, that's all faded away. A wider view is going to show the clouds that, again, continue through this afternoon. West Michigan still covered in. I'm starting to see a bit of clearing towards Detroit, but that's going to be subjective for the east side. Then the top left is our next disturbance. That went off in Minnesota, northern Wisconsin. That's going to start to turn right and sink southward towards us late overnight tonight. Most of us are not going to get that rain in here until we get to tomorrow morning, but that's kind of what we have coming our way. It's the next system that'll work into mid-Michigan. And so it is possible, again, to flare up a very brief shower or even thunderstorm late today. But for the most part, I think a lot of us are just going to be dry and cloudy for the rest of our Monday here, which isn't all bad. You can see that the temperatures have come back up to the upper 70s, a few folks low 80s. I do still think we get to about 82 for the high today. That was my forecast this morning. I still feel pretty confident in that number heading into this afternoon. You can see that the muggy meter is the big difference here. We still have that humidity. It's been hanging around. It continues into part of the day tomorrow. And then you notice that it really doesn't come back up. And frankly, even staying this time of year below 65, where we still have it kind of muggy on this muggy meter, it doesn't feel that way when you've got upper 70s highs instead of having the 80s that we've had as of late and even close to 90. And so big deal here, humidity goes away and it stays away not only the rest of the week, but also through the weekend. And so we have that to look forward to moving forward. Now, severe weather outlook, this has been updated by Storm Prediction Center. Earlier, we did have a few folks in a slight risk, which, to be honest with you, was going to be tough to come by. Myself and Darren Rockcole thought earlier. And just as accordingly, the SPC has dialed that threat back. They do still have us near and south of I-96 in a marginal risk for severe weather, but even those are going to be hard to come by, I think, heading into this afternoon. Any shower or storm that does flare up could have some gusty winds, maybe a bit of hail with it, but it doesn't look like we have too much going on as far as that activity. You can see kind of on the left side far of the screen, there's some yellow there for the slight risk, and same on the bottom right towards Cleveland, and really the cutoff seems to be near Port Clinton, Ohio, not far from Cedar Point. And so that's where they've got the slight risk, marginal risk for us heading into today. I do see we have the question from Bryce out there. Yes, and thank you, Chris, for watching. Bryce, it's looking like the storms tomorrow, which we'll get to in the hour by hour in a moment, likely going to last at least through the morning, and we might not even have too much thunder with that. And there will be some pockets that could get some rumbles, but it'll be just a lot of heavy rain activity.
For your morning commute.
Yeah, not so much in a way of a high severe weather threat for us. That's what our thinking is right now. But I do expect that most of the morning tomorrow you're going to want to have the umbrella close by. And yes, Donovan, I see on there a lot of rain in Sunfield. Had a little bit of hail with some of those storms. I mean, they definitely had some winds, some very heavy downpours coming through, and it certainly would have been tough to see the roads out there if you were traveling. And so fortunately good to be able to have those out of the region now. But again, this is our severe weather outlook for today, tonight. Not looking like it's too big a deal, the marginal risk. Something we'll keep an eye on, but overall not looking like it should be a big issue. So here's the hour by hour. And again, you can see the system off to the east in here. The model has overdone a couple of those flare-up showers right overhead, which clearly have not taken place. Now, it's possible one or two of those could develop heading into this afternoon and evening, but you see here those would be very widely isolated in nature. We're looking at only about a 20 or 30% chance of rain, and for a lot of us, it's likely lower than that too. And so headed into the rest of our day, doesn't look too bad for most. Overnight, we'll see the return of some rain, and you see those rounds coming through here. So here's 6 o'clock Tuesday morning. And once again, you can see the showers and coming through the area. We'll have some pockets of heavy rainfall. We start in the lower 60s with our temperature. However, we are only going to get, I think, back to around 70 at the warmest. And a lot of folks may stay in the 60s. Look at all those rounds of rain that move through, and this is just before lunchtime. And a lot of that activity begins to exit. I do think we'll have a couple showers that sort of linger heading into the afternoon tomorrow, but those again will be fairly scattered and a little bit isolated too. Here's the evening, and things are starting to quiet down. Now these models want to throw us low 70s. We'll see. I think it'll be tough to come by unless we get the clouds out of here. If that happens and we get full-blown sun, maybe we see 72, 73. But I think for a lot of us, it'll be around 69 or 70 degrees because the clouds are going to be a little tougher to get out of here until we get to Tuesday night when the final back edge of that disturbance clears the area. When that happens, we'll go back down to 50s for the lows. You'll see in the hour by hour here, I think we're going to lose the temperatures heading into this time frame. There's those 50s to start. Once we get into late Wednesday, you see how sunny it is. Comfortable temperatures settle on the upper 70s to just shy of 80, and what should be a beautiful midweek day that hopefully you're able to take advantage of and enjoy out there. So the 10-day temperature trend, normal high again is 82. Tomorrow, we take a step backwards, one of those cooler days, high of just 70 degrees, but the rest of them, they're between 76 and 80 just about every day. Now that is slightly below normal, but it's still very comfortable, very pleasant, and it all comes with a lot of sun and not much humidity, and you'll see that here in the look at the 10-day overall forecast, which again is showing the opportunity for rain tomorrow mainly. 100%. Doesn't mean it'll rain all day, but we are confident to a T that we're going to get some heavy rain tomorrow. Once that moves out, you notice 50s lows for the rest of the forecast, highs mid to upper 70s to near 80 for the rest of the forecast. So there's really no heat coming anywhere soon. There's also really no cold air around, and there's really not a lot of rain opportunity after Tuesday, not until middle of next week. And so not only the rest of the week and the weekend, but even early next week, we're still holding on to those pleasant conditions.
Looking beautiful.
Unless a disturbance flares up somewhere or another, of course, in which case we will have you covered. It's going to look like a pretty good time frame for us here. And so lots of Mid-Michigan events going on, some other things, including the Jackson County Fair, which we've talked about quite a bit. We had the Ingham County Fair last week, which we did luck out most of the days and have some decent weather for. It was a little hot and humid, was it not? So we had to deal with that. I think if you're looking towards the Jackson County Fair, which if you've got some more to say about it, I'll let you, but it looks like we have good weather for that at least.
Yeah, well, I also wanted to show people where you can submit weather photos. I know Donovan says, I have some nice pictures of the storm clouds from that storm too. So yeah, I mean, on the homepage, you're seeing what you can look forward to this week with that beautiful weather. I'll show you that one more time on the 10-day forecast. But then Justin, do you want to explain how people can submit those photos?
Yeah, pretty easy to do. All you have to do is go to our First Alert weather page. It's easy to find. At the very least, you can plug it in a search engine and it'll come right up. You find the article that we have. It has a lot of other things, including current conditions, but there is a tab on the site that allows you to submit those photos. And so, once again, it's circled right here. Very easy to do. You just go right there and you upload it directly from whatever device you may have. And pretty easy to attach a file, whether you're on a laptop, home computer, desktop, or on your phone too. Just anything, pretty easy to get it up there, and who knows, maybe you'll see it on air if you do submit it. And you can also find the First Alert weather article there. We like to go into a nice lot of detail so that you know what to expect, have that First Alert going forward. We also have almanac information on there as well, because I know that that's interesting, certainly to me, but to many people, where you try to look up, oh, what was the hottest it ever was, or the coldest it ever was today. We not only have the record highs for both Lansing and Jackson, but there's other information that's available there too that you can find. And so if you're ever interested, and interested in a little more than maybe what we have the time to talk about on air, the article's usually got very good details in there, and so go to the site, find it. That's absolutely free, doesn't cost you anything. And so just like the First Alert weather app, both great places to go and get your weather info. Of course, you can also watch us certainly during the Olympics on a couple of our other networks. We've got shows on 10.3, our affiliate. We've got shows on 10.2 as well, and so you'll catch on Heroes and Icons both today at 11 and first at 4. And then you'll get your 5 and 5:30 part of our 90 minutes of news on MeTV 10.2. Of course, then you can flip right back over to 10.1 in addition to the Olympic coverage to get us on the 6 o'clock newscast while the Olympics are going on in Paris. But as you were just shown there, we've got other programs that are off on MeTV as well during the Summer Olympics, including Jeopardy, which we know how much you love Jeopardy. We love it too. And trust me, from a meteorologist perspective, we know how much you love Jeopardy. That's why whenever possible, we try not to make severe weather cut-ins take place between 7 and 8 o'clock. We know. We hear you when you watch at home. I tell you, we get some messages. They're usually fairly tame, but we get messages every time we've ever done a severe weather cut-in between 7 and 8 p.m. during the week. We get it. We don't want to cut in and interrupt that, but you know, when it's necessary,
we want to protect you and your safety.
We'll do it every time. First Alert's something we're proud of. I promise it's not because I want to hear myself talk. It's never the case, because I don't, to be honest with you. But anyway, you're getting sidetracked. Good looking forecast. We have that all coming up for you during our newscast this evening, whatever platform you're able to watch us from, whatever channel you're able to watch us from on our Channel 10 affiliates here. But good forecast after tomorrow. We should be smooth sailing off into the rest of the week and weekend. Make those plans now to do things outdoors. Those outdoor walks, picnic, barbecue, gathering together with the family out in the back patio, backyard, hanging out, take the kids to the park. Yeah. You name it, you can do it. Golfing, go to the pool, bonfire, anything. It's going to be great weather for it. And you know, the mid-Michigan summer always seems to slip away faster than we want and faster than we think.
Yeah.
But it is nice every once in a while. I know some love the heat and humidity. I think it's nice every once in a while, take a step back. Upper 70s, low 80s, lots of sun, no humidity. Yeah. That's my happy place. If it's not yours, that's okay too. But you know, it definitely makes for some very pleasant weather to be outdoors. Nothing to really worry about. So hopefully you're able to take advantage and enjoy. In the meantime, we'll see you here at 4 o'clock. First at 4, again, channel 10.3 on our Heroes and Icons. You just saw the program lineup. We've also got it at our website, WILX.com, and all of our streaming sites and platforms. Be sure to tune in. I know that's a long-winded.
I'm gonna hop off. You got to cover it.
Right way to wrap it up, but you know, we're going to be putting together again, fine-tuning the forecast. Again, there is still that very small risk for severe weather.
Yeah.
I think the main thing for us personally, for all you watching, is going to be the heavy rain tomorrow, particularly during the morning. So I know Donovan wrote in here that it was. Yep. Thank you very much, and that it was raining very hard this morning. There are going to be pockets of that tomorrow around mid-Michigan too, and so just everybody keep that in mind when you are heading to work or just running out for any errands you need to run. Keep that in mind tomorrow during the morning. You're going to want to just maybe check the radar, First Alert weather app once again free, or watch us in the morning to help plan your day, because there are going to be some pockets of heavy rain for sure tomorrow. Across
and with the
area.
puddles and anything that could be overflowing, if there's any rivers like that, you'll get the traffic alert updates too off the First Alert weather app.
Yeah, and while we don't expect any long duration or widespread flooding, when you have just a bunch of concrete, that's not going to soak up the rain like the ground will, and even the ground can get overpowered. But you know where those low-lying rivers, creeks, any of those are around around where you live. Those likely going to rise quite a bit tomorrow with some of this rain that moves through. Hopefully nothing like we saw a little over a week ago.
Yeah.
But we'll, again, of course, keep our eyes out for it, and your First Alert weather team is here to give you that first alert. So,
awesome. Well, for Donovan, when he submitted the pictures, would you be able to show any of those during your forecast today, or how do we pop those up?
More than likely, yeah. Okay. Usually what we do is we're able to just go onto the site, save them into a viewer submission, and as long as they're on there, we've got permission technically to use. So only share them if you're free to give the permission. Don't, if you put them on here and then it's on air, you can't say, oh, I didn't give you, well, you submitted them, and that's part of the whole
submitting
deal,
it gives us permission to use it. But yes, we will try to put that up there.
And we'll credit you, of course. Yes, I'm not going to say, oh, I took this great picture. So thank you, Donovan, for submitting. And anybody who's interested. Yeah, no. We don't do that around here. We make sure everyone gets their due. So watch First at 4 today. You might see that image pop up.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, sounds good. Speaking of First at 4, we'll let you get to it. I know you're busy tracking all this. The showers, storms coming in late tonight, so Justin's got you covered.
There you go. Perfect.
All right. We'll see you then.
Yes, sounds good.
All right. One more time. I'll show the 10-day forecast if anyone needs that. I appreciate everyone. Oh, Donovan says you have full permission to show them. Appreciate you, Donovan. Thank you.
Yes.
That's super helpful. So yes, anyone, if you are like Donovan, you have any pictures, one more time I'll show you where you can submit those weather pictures, anything like that. You go right over here onto the First Alert Weather button off of our little banner at the top. You're going to scroll down and you're going to click Add Media, upload your files, and then you can submit them. Donovan figured it out, so it's an easy process, I'm sure. I love taking pictures of the clouds. Well, Donovan, send away. We'd love that. Thank you so much. You'll see Justin Bradford coming up at First at 4. And then, yeah, just make sure you're tuning in the rest of the day for those updates on your First Alert forecast and that first alert for tonight going into tomorrow, Tuesday morning, really affecting your morning commute with the showers and storms as well. So continue checking back into your forecast in case there are any changes. You want to see where the model is showing where the storms and rain will be. But shouldn't be too bad of a risk. Just watch out for those downpours and anything that could be affecting your commute, or if you have any outdoor plans, anything that's outside, you might want to take them in if you have any flowers, plants, anything like that. Any decorations, decor, and your pets, you might want to bring them inside too. So just giving you that first alert, that little heads up of what we can expect later tonight into tomorrow morning. But I do want to share one more time, like Justin mentioned, where you can find Studio 10 and News 10 Today at 11 and a few of our programming changes. So I know you've heard about this quite a bit now, so I'll make it kind of quick for you. Studio 10, you can watch during our hour-long newscast on News 10 Today at 11 and News 10 First at 4. So Studio 10 will be at the end again of News 10 Today at 11 and First at 4. Again, those are hour-long newscasts on our Heroes and Icons channel 10.3. And then Studio 10, or not Studio 10, excuse me. I said it so many times, it's just in my mouth now. News 10 at 5 and 5:30. And of course, like Justin said, everyone loves Jeopardy. You can find that on the MeTV channel. That is channel 10.2. Make sure that you are tuning in. But yeah, taking note of all of those programming changes as well. I'm getting a little distracted because I know that the men's track races are going on right now for the Olympics, and they are speedy. They are so quick.
Oh, man.
I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I couldn't.
That's amazing.
I mean, maybe if I trained harder, I could have made it.
Well, we both ran track.
We did.
But not like that.
Oh, no. I wasn't on that level. But, you know, I was fast.
We
wasn't
can dream.
that fast.
I know, they're flying.
Oh,
I was like,
goodness.
oh, my gosh. But, yeah, how are you today?
I am doing well. I have not been outside yet, but, you know,
that's good. You're staying
okay,
dry.
It's been raining anyway.
It
so
has.
Not missing out on anything.
No, you're not. But you're talking about stocks today.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now, the news is out there. If you haven't already heard, the Dow Jones stock market has dropped significantly, more than a few hundred points, 600 points. But I got a chance to talk to some financial advisors, just to kind of break it all down, because, you know, when you hear stock market, it may go over some people's heads.
Buy, sell,
you may not exactly really understand how it may impact you specifically. So learning a few tips on, you know, what it means to invest, how to invest smart, having financial advisors. And actually, many of them are saying the drop isn't too much of a concern.
Oh,
it's not too much worry that you have to worry about, which is a good thing.
Yes.
But it's just something that is kind of a historic thing going on right now. So it is important to take note of and be aware of, especially if you are investing or you're looking to invest, or if you're thinking retirement, that's something to really consider as well.
And on selling any of those stocks too, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely not a time to worry or make any drastic decisions.
No impulse decisions.
Yes, don't do that. But I'll definitely have it all broken down so we all better understand how it's impacting us.
A clear idea if you should buy or sell. All right, okay. Well, that's good because I feel like anytime it comes to finances, there's always that, it's kind of cloudy, you know?
Right.
I'm not sure what to do.
Not
So
sure
you're
what to
clearing
do,
it up.
Yes. I'm going to give it to you simple and straight.
All right, we love that. We love that. Okay.
Yes.
Well, what time can people watch that coming up today?
So we'll have shortened versions of it in the 5:30 and 6 o'clock, but you can catch the full story at News 10 at 11.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Deanna. We'll
Thanks,
see you
Taylor.
then. And yes, if you are having any financial struggles or any type of struggles going on right now, whether that is with your mental health, maybe you're going through a transitional time right now, a lifestyle change, or maybe you're moving, maybe you're, a student getting ready for school, maybe you're changing careers, or maybe taking up a new habit and lifestyle, or maybe you are going through those financial struggles or marital struggles, or substance abuse with addiction, gambling. No matter what you're going through, what you're feeling, know that you're not alone. And there are people out there in the community, many people out there who are going through the similar things, right? They're not the exact same experiences, but you can find someone who's going through a similar experience and connect with them and really share that same level of what you're going through. And knowing that you're not alone. When you're in that place where you know you're not alone, you're able to connect and relate with someone else, it improves your emotional well-being because there's that understanding, that acceptance of what is happening, and no judgment, right? No shame. Just improving your emotional well-being and having those tools, right, to guide you, receive advice. Maybe it's just that support of someone listening and just being there. No matter what it is, we have those resources up on our QR code, bringing you to our website, wilx.com, of those mental health care professionals and those other resources across mid-Michigan. So just a few that are listed per county across mid-Michigan, but hey, they're guidance tools. It's just a little stepping stone so you know where to go. But yes, check it out, our You're Not Alone Mental Health series. We have plenty of stories that we're airing here on News 10 to make sure that you're not alone. But I do want to share what before we get to Mars, excuse me, we're going to pull up what we have for our 90 minutes of news, but starting with First at 4. So coming up today on First at 4, we are speaking with men's soccer head coach for Michigan State University, Coach Damon Rensing. He is going to be sharing what you can expect when it comes to the men who are not continuing, Team USA, men's soccer team, not continuing into the Olympics. But the women's team doing well, and they are looking to score for gold. So we are going to be following their path, their journey throughout the Paris Olympics here. And also Coach Rensing with MSU's men's soccer team is going to be sharing more about the pressure at the top when you're at that elite level as an Olympian, what it's like to work together as a team, and what you're seeing when it comes to those younger athletes, especially for the men's team, where you can have 3 athletes above the age of 23, but a lot of them are around 19 years old on that team. Team USA, that is. So when it comes to that, you have these players that are sticking around, and how do you build up that culture, that team, their skill sets to really improve and create a dominant Team USA or any type of team. But hey, Team USA, let's go team. But we're going to share more from Coach Rensing coming up today on First at 4 for Mid-Michigan Matters. So make sure that you're tuning into that. And then coming up, News 10 at 5, we are less than 24 hours from Michigan's primary election. Polls open at 7 in the morning tomorrow on Tuesday, and as long as you're in line before 8 tomorrow night, you have a right to cast your ballot. You will still be able to vote, but that's before 8 p.m. You got to make sure that you're in line at the polling location. So coming up on News 10 at 5, we're going to share more of what you need to know before you head out to vote in person. I'm making sure that you're all prepared, right? You don't want any frustrations as you're heading out to the polls. We want to make this a smooth, easy process. And then coming up, News 10 at 5:30. Having secured the Democratic nomination, Vice President Kamala Harris is expected to name her running mate tomorrow morning. So coming up, we'll break down the front runners who are on Harris's short list for vice president. I know that's a big talking point, especially since she got nominated as the Democratic nominee for this upcoming general election. It's a big one this year. I know there's been a lot of people talking about it. So just make sure you're tuning in tonight, News 10 at 5:30, to learn more. And then coming up, News 10 at 6. The Olympics are in full swing, and as we head into that final lap, we take a look at a former Olympian. So in our continuing Make an Impact series, David Andrews introduces us to a 1992 Olympian to see how she's inspiring the next generation of Olympians. All right, that is coming up today on News 10 at 6. Make sure you are tuning into that. Again, we have the Olympics playing in the background. We're going to make sure we continue providing you all of those Olympic coverage updates during our Olympic Zone on WILX at 7:30, so make sure you're tuning in. Right now, we have Mars Anderson behind me, and we have Noah Lyles, who is ready to run. We're seeing him, so if you're watching the Olympics right now and you're getting distracted like me, that is why, because we are watching Team USA run it on the track. They're about to go. Okay, so we're going to get to Mars real quick before I keep getting distracted here by Team USA. We're going to see what Mars has coming up during News 10 at 5:30.
Hi Taylor, Mars Anderson here in Napoleon Township. Behind me, you can see the wreckage from a gyroplane crash that happened on Saturday evening. That was a Carol DeGraw who was actually operating this plane, and it crashed in a wooded area not too far from her home. We're going to have some details from law enforcement. Also, we're going to speak to her husband about her legacy and just, I guess, her thrill of adventure that she enjoyed, because of course, this was a plane crash from the many adventures that I guess she's had. So we want to kind of talk about her life a little bit more and the things that she loved to do. So we'll have more information on that during News 10 at 5 and 6. For now, I'm going to toss it back to you at the station.
All right, thank you, Mars. News 10 at 5 and 6. He says when his story is coming up on the woman who crashed that gyroplane. It was in the woods, so that is where the plane crashed, and her husband, really well known for building these gyroplanes and gyrocopters and all of their designs. So sharing more into his legacy and tying it into the crash from his wife. Again, that gyroplane that crashed, and as Mars showed behind him, really destroyed in those woods. So we're going to be sharing more of that coming up today during our 90 minutes of news. One more time, I will show what we have coming up during our 90 minutes of news, starting with first at 4. Just so if I ran through that quickly, you have a better idea. You get a little bit more of a glimpse into what we have coming up. But yes, just take a little look at that. I'm going to give you some live looks across mid-Michigan before we head out of here, just so you can see those clouds across the sky. But we're going to take a live look over Michigan State University's campus in East Lansing. I know that Chris Schultz is joining us. So Chris, here's your live look at MSU right now. And then we're going to head over to Delta Township. So here's a live look now over Delta Township. It's looking brighter compared to MSU Skycam, but of course that depends on when that sun is coming in, where that cloud cover is, and which way our Skycam is pointing at. So just want to give you that little bit of info too. And then we're going to take another look. This time let's go to downtown Jackson, see what's happening over there. Again, you're seeing more of those puffy clouds up in the sky. Very, very little. In fact, I'm not seeing any sky. I'm just seeing a bunch of clouds. Maybe at the top there, a little peek of it. But, you know, mostly cloud cover today. So no matter what you're doing, just prepare for all of that. And then also the rain showers coming in tonight. Do not forget about that. Live look over downtown Mason. You're looking at courthouse right there. It's looking nice, looking beautiful. But yes, a lot of cloud cover. And if you look at that American flag in the distance too, you're seeing that the wind is going. So just keep an eye on all of that. If you're hearing some woohoos in the newsroom here, it's because, again, track is going. Do we have an update? Noah Lyles. One for what? Both Americans finished first in their heat. Go Team USA, all three. We're going to update that number to all 3 Americans. Okay, go Team USA. We're going to end on that positive note because that's great. Okay, way to end your Monday. They are running so fast. This is incredible. If you haven't seen the Olympics, make sure you're tuning in. Again, that's on channel 10.1 here on News 10. And then we're going to have our Olympic Zone at 7:30 for all your Olympic updates on everything, that medal count, and a lot more features and looks into the Olympics because this is impressive. They are so speedy. This is impressive. I wish I could just turn around and show you, but I'm just going to have to play-by-play it a little bit. Okay, that's looking good. Noah Lyles, everyone. Keep your eyes on him. He is incredible for Team USA. That was impressive. Okay, but that is everything we have coming up on News 10 today. Make sure you're tuning in first at 4. It's 2:36 right now. We're coming up on first at 4, so make sure that you're tuning in. Then we have our 90 minutes of news. But other than that, make sure you're preparing for those storms happening later tonight. Again, Justin Bradford gave you that first alert. So tune back into News 10 for your first alert forecast and more up-to-dates on that forecast with the first alert tonight. And then we're going to bring you more local coverage here on News 10, so make sure that you're tuning in first at 4 and our 90 minutes of news. But we hope you have a great rest of your day, Mid-Michigan.